Think about the last time you hesitated before posting a photo, sending a message, or sharing your opinion in a group. Be honest. Did you adjust what you said, even a little, to make sure others would approve? Maybe you've replayed a conversation in your head, wondering if someone took your joke the wrong way. Or maybe you felt that quiet thrill when someone praised you. Not just thank you, but a little spark that said, I'm enough, I'm accepted. It's strange, isn't it? We can tell ourselves that we don't care what people think, but deep down, almost every single one of us is still scanning the room for nods, likes, or some kind of validation. The truth is, craving approval isn't a weakness or a flaw. It's something built into us at a level deeper than logic. Today, we're going to explore why. Welcome to MindShift, the channel where we explore the psychology behind what makes us do, think, and feel the way we do. In today's episode, we're diving into one of the most universal forces driving human behavior, our deep, often invisible need for others' approval, and how you can change your relationship with it. People often say, I don't care what others think, and sometimes they really mean it. But in most cases, it's like saying, I don't need oxygen, because whether we like it or not, approval is part of our design. Let's go back about 200,000 years to the first human tribes. Back then, being liked wasn't just nice, it meant survival. If the group accepted you, you had food, protection, and warmth. If they rejected you, you were alone, exposed to predators, hunger, danger. So your ancestors developed a deep biological need to fit in. Rejection wasn't just uncomfortable, it was deadly. Fast forward to modern life, and while our threats today aren't saber-toothed tigers, our brains haven't exactly updated the software. Your nervous system still reacts to disapproval the same way, like a danger signal. Even today, a rude comment online can trigger the same areas in the brain that light up during physical pain. That's real. Scientists have shown that social rejection activates the same neural circuits as getting punched in the arm. Now add this to the mix. The human brain is hardwired to mirror others emotionally. When someone smiles at you, your brain releases dopamine. When somebody approves of you, your body literally rewards itself with pleasant chemicals. So, no, you're not weak for wanting approval. You're wired that way. Now here's a fun psychology fact. Studies have found that babies as young as 6 months old alter their behavior based on whether someone is watching. 6 months old! They don't even fully understand language yet, but they already understand social feedback. And if you're someone who thinks, I should be over this by now, here's a historical story to make you feel a little better. Back in ancient Rome, Emperor Augustus was so obsessed with public approval that he engraved his greatest accomplishments on bronze pillars and put them on display in the city's main square. Not just for his time, but for all of history. He didn't just want people to clap for him in person. He wanted all future generations to know he was worth admiring. Imagine Instagram, but in stone. The desire to be liked? It's as old as civilization. But here's the pivot. Craving approval is not always the problem. The problem comes when approval becomes the source of your self-worth. Here's the key shift. It's completely normal to enjoy being liked, but it becomes emotional quicksand when you feel like you don't exist, or don't matter, without someone else's nod of approval. And one of the biggest life traps we fall into is confusion between connection and validation. Connection is mutual. It feeds us both. Validation is one-sided. It's external. It's fleeting. Think about that one time you posted something you felt proud of, but it got way fewer likes than you hoped. Remember how you immediately questioned yourself? Maybe it wasn't good enough. Maybe you aren't good enough. That emotional crash is proof of something profound. Approval gives us a hit, like an emotional sugar rush, but it never truly satisfies hunger. And worst of all, it teaches us to look outside for something we can only build inside. Let's go deeper. Why do some people seek approval more than others? There are layers to that answer. Sometimes it comes from childhood, especially if praise was given conditionally. If love or attention was earned only when you behaved a certain way, your nervous system might still think approval equals safety. Other times, it's cultural. Some societies are more individualistic, like the US, where we're told to stand out and be unique. Others are collectivistic, like Japan or China, where harmony and group belonging matter more. Neither is wrong, but both shape how much emotional weight we give to others' opinions. And then there's fear. Not just fear of rejection, but of disconnection. Because deep down, we aren't really afraid of people disliking us. We're afraid of being unworthy of love. Here's something most people never tell you about approval. It's actually a mirror. When we don't feel enough inside, we use others to reflect back what we can't see in ourselves. And the moment we get approval, it's temporary proof. It says, yes, you are valuable. Yes, you matter. Yes, you're lovable. Until the next moment when we need it again. The brain doesn't learn self-worth through repetition of "I'm good enough." It learns it through experience. Now, here's a liberating truth. The approval you keep searching for outside isn't stronger than the approval you can give yourself. And no, this isn't about becoming a lone wolf or shutting people out. It's about reconnecting with a deeper truth. You already have value that doesn't depend on being seen, praised, or accepted. Let me tell you something strange but powerful. The moment you stop performing for approval, you'll start attracting people who actually see you. So what's the real shift? It's not, how do I stop caring what others think? That's not realistic. The real shift is, whose opinion truly matters? Is this judgment a reflection of truth or just someone else's fear? Am I living in alignment with what feels real to me? We free ourselves not by trying to kill the need for approval, but by learning to choose whose approval deserves space in our hearts. Here's a practice you can try. Next time you catch yourself adjusting who you are or what you say to gain approval, pause. Say quietly to yourself, "It's okay to want approval, but it's not oxygen. I can live without it." Over time, that quiet voice gets louder, and so does your self-sovereignty. So in the end, seeking approval is something all of us do, because we're social, emotional, beautifully wired beings. But meaning, purpose, peace, they come from within, from staying true, from knowing when to listen to feedback and when to stand in your own truth. Because nothing is more freeing than realizing you don't need to be validated to be valuable. Thanks for watching MindShift.